So the grading in this class is not done according to a traditional model of grading. It uses instead something called labor-based grading, which you may also encounter in some places as contract grading. And the whole idea is you get to choose from day one of the class what grade you would like to receive. And so long as you do the commensurate work to receive that grade, you just get it. So you don't have to go through that whole like guessing process that I think sometimes with when you're in a class and you're like, I don't really understand why I got that grade, or I don't stand a chance of getting a good grade in this class because I'm not good at this stuff. So that you can enter a class feeling a little like defeated, or you can feel confused along the way. You maybe get a paper back or a test back or whatever, and you think, but why why that score? Why was that? So I'm trying to get rid of all the mystery of the grading in this class and make it so that you are completely in control of it. So the most important document for you in terms of each week figuring out like what do I need to do for what grade is the due dates overview on the content page. It's under, I think, key documents, like right at the top of the table of contents for the content page, due dates overview. Because every week, 1 through 17, if you include the final exam week, it goes through. If you want an A, do this. If you want a B, do this. If you're trying to get a C in the class, do this for every assignment. So on the weeks when you are, for example, annotating or adding comments into one of the stories in a document that I've given you, if you are annotating and you're like, I'm just taking this class for the 3 credits that I need, some elective credits, and I needed this. I'm not deeply into it. I'm happy with a C in the class because you know what? C's get degrees. If that's your attitude, fine. I love the honesty. I mean, let's not pretend with each other, okay? So you can just do the work required to get a C, which would be like adding in 2 good annotations, which basically means comments, where you add a comment and you type out your thoughts or reactions, and then somewhere else in the story add another comment. And you can ask questions, you can elaborate on things, you can anything goes for those comments. If you're going for a B, you'd add 4. If you're going for an A, you'd add 6. So that is a similar type of thing that you'd see in like the weekly journals as well. If you're going for a C, you would just write 300 words in response to the journal prompt. If you're going for a B, you would write the 300 words plus answer 1 additional question. If you're going for an A, you would do the 300 words plus 2 additional questions. So what you do and the grade you earn, 100% in your control. For me, I look at, is it college level work? Because if it's not, I mean, if you just kind of went in and did your 2, you're like, I want to see on this, I'm going to do 2 annotations, and you just wrote, liked this part for one of them, and this was good for the other. That's not analytical thinking. That's not college thinking. That's not you genuinely interacting with the story. So even though you don't have required word counts on those, you got to lean into them and really do them. You got to show that you have understanding. You have to demonstrate that you have the intellect to actually, like pull out what's going on in the story. What do you make of all this? So it has to be college level work. But so long as what you submit is like a good faith effort for college level work, if you have hit the parameters of the assignment, you straight up just get all the points. You get all the points for an A, all the points for a B, all the points for a C. So that basically would be like a 95%, 85%, or 75% kind of thing. And you get to do that on the journals. You get to do that later in the semester. There are some points where you do more traditional kinds of discussion posts. And if you hit the word counts or the required number of replies, you just get the A, B, or C. All up to you. One caveat for all of this is if you're doing the recommended amount of work to receive an A, but you are clearly using AI for it, and you are not following the AI policy in the class, which is, first of all, please don't use it. Please don't use it. Stop. Don't use it. It's terrible for the planet. The environmental impacts are unbelievable. It's ethically sus. It's morally a problem. If you don't want to be in college doing the work, you're not legally required to come to college. Don't be here. Don't do it if you don't want to do it. So I would love it if you're here with the idea that you are going to challenge yourself to develop some skills. I would rather see messy. I would rather see bad punctuation, not great grammar. I would rather see your own real sentences and your own real thinking. Okay, but if you are so deep in with chat that you just can't stay away from it, If you're going to use it anyhow, the policy is you must disclose that you used it, and you must submit or post the draft that ChatGPT or whatever AI you love the best drafted for you. And then you have to also post successive draft or drafts that you edited, revised, put your own voice into, put your own stamp onto. So if you're using AI, you got to post a whole lot more than if you don't use AI. You got to turn in all the drafts so we can see all of it, and you've got to be clear with the disclosure. AI has a lot of tells. Like I can see, do you really have a graduate level vocabulary? If we zoomed one-on-one to talk about the suspicious work, would you be able to go through and I just said, right now, just tell me about, let's prove up on this. Tell me about the story. I'll ask you some questions. Would you be able to do it face-to-face, one-on-one? Because we can go to that. So if you could please just be honest about your use of AI, be forthright about it. If you've used it ethically, you shouldn't have a problem with that, right? But the ideal, of course, would be just don't use it at all. Okay, so the only thing that could mess up your grade, even if you're doing all the stuff that's required for the labor-based grading, if you're doing the A, B, or C, but if you're using AI and you're not being honest about it, that's just a 0, and you can go ahead and just fail the class. I mean, I do really like you all, and I am in fact eager to get to know every person in the class as an individual. I really, really, really love students. I really, really, really hate AI. So let me love you.